Welcome back. My name is Charles Thompson. At this point, you should have gone through two steps. First step, you should have gone through LMS, or Learning Management System, about an hour and a half of your time. And then secondly, tapped into a few of our daily live coaching events on powercalendar.com. Now that you've done that, let's walk you through the basics of how to get your first appointment set. And the first thing you need to do is you want to be able to present your homeowner with what we call an irresistible offer for a free solar consultation. But how do you make that bridge? How do you get to that point? Well, step number one is have a conversation. Get into a conversation. Sometimes they call it the Ford approach, which is talk about family, talk about occupation, talk about recreation, talk about dreams, and then you'll find a comfortable time to make a transition. And one of the greatest transition starter questions is, have you noticed your electricity bill is going up over the past few years? If somebody hasn't noticed that, they simply don't pay those bills themselves, or they have them on auto draft, they just don't know. If they say no, well, let's talk a little bit about that. And you just get into what we do as a company. Most people are going to say yes, so have I, me too. And then introduce why you're asking. The basics are, did you know I started with a company called Power? And now I'm actually certified to help homeowners evaluate if solar's right for their home and can save them $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in their energy costs. So if solar didn't cost you anything at all, would you be open to saving a lot of money? And then just let them answer. Super simple. Then get into dialogue. Get an idea of where their thoughts are. What are your thoughts about solar? Have you ever looked into solar? What you want to do is make this conversational. You don't want this to sound like a pitch, right? You want to make it, I call it this, the active listening, which is 75% of the conversation at that stage is coming from them as opposed to you. 25% of you interjecting or agreeing with them. So keep it conversational, ask these probing questions, and then ask them one of the keys. Do you happen to know how much you pay for a kilowatt hour of energy? Now, most people, unless they're in a deregulated energy market, have no idea what a kilowatt hour is. So you can explain. Basically, a kilowatt hour is a measurement of energy, much like a gallon is a measurement of liquid. It's really that simple. So what we want to do is find out what you're paying. So if they don't know what they're paying, great. Let's get a copy of your electric bill and I'll break it down for you and show you how it works. So in simple terms, let's walk through what that looks like. So this is a typical electric bill. Now we're in multiple states throughout the US and there's no one bill I can show you, but you have to look at the total cost that's occurring. You take that total bill right down here and you divide that by the number of kilowatt hours they use. That will give you the kilowatt hour rate. Now there's other charges, there's demand charges, there's time of use, all that, but this is just a real simple way to break it down. So grab a copy of your bill and I'll walk through that with you. It's kind of the next approach, right? So they might say, well, why should I give you a copy of my bill? I'll talk about that in a moment. And the closing question after reviewing the bill, so if I can show you how to save tens of thousands of dollars with nothing out of pocket, would you be interested? If they haven't already given you a bill, ask again. Give you a copy of your most recent bill. Now, that bill must be uploaded with every lead submission, and this is going to enable you to have a higher conversion ratio. That's why we made it a requirement, and it's critical why you have to get the bill. So here's the way you explain it. The savings you'll receive varies based upon how much you're paying for electricity and how much you use on an annual basis. So what Power is going to do is they're going to take a look at that bill. In order to create a proposal, they need a clean copy of that bill. And the system is going to be designed to replace most or all of the energy you bought from the dirty energy grid last year. So would you grab me a copy of your bill? Sometimes people say, well, what's this going to cost? All right, here's a basic analogy for you. If you say to them, when you went and bought your last car, did you ask them how much you're going to pay for gas for the year? Well, what do you mean? Well, you really don't know how much you're going to pay for gas until you see how much you're going to use. It's the same thing with electricity. We have no idea how much the system's going to cost until we know how much electricity you use. And then we want to see the bill in addition to that to know so we can show you the value proposition. So grab me a copy of your bill and let's get going. And if they don't have a copy of a printed bill, you can get them to go online. So get them in front of a computer and just walk them through it. Typically, if you go to the View Bill section on your online, you can download a PDF copy of that, have them email that to you, have them text a copy of it. And at that point, now you want to find a couple of times. And you should be working with a mentor and kind of have your mentor's schedule so you know what their times are available. Just at that point, say, great, now that I've got this, When is a convenient time for us to set up a time for a free consultation? I'll get you involved with one of my partners, one of my business associates, one of my mentors, and we'll walk through the benefits of going solar. What day? Give them two options. Always give two options, not just one, right? What day is better for you? Monday or Tuesday? Thursday or Friday? All right, Friday, great. Is a daytime or an evening appointment better for you? Daytime, great. Is it 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock? Kind of nail it down into two different conversion times. Super simple. And then you want to make sure you get the balance of the information. What's the home address? The estimated bill, even though you've got to get from them what they think their monthly bill requirements are. And it's going to be important as we assess that bill that we make sure that we present to what their expectations are, get their email address, their phone number. There's 3 other questions that are good to get. 1, what type of roof do you have? And 2, how old is that roof? And then the last one, if they know, is do you happen to know the amperage rating on your electric panel? I always love saying, listen, I'll tell you what, I'm going to send you a quick follow-up email or text. So when you give me these 3 things, then I'll go ahead and get you connected with my partner. And those 3 things are, I need a copy of your electric bill. I need a picture of your main panel. So step back about 3 or 4 feet, take a picture of the main panel with the door open, and then zoom in on that top screen, and so I can see whether it's 100 amp or 200 amp. And I'll tell you, if they do that, they're demonstrating a level of commitment and interest that's going to benefit you significantly. So let me recap here and make it simple. What do? Here at Power Energy, the 2 things we do is we sell solar. It's that simple. We offer a free consultation. There's no pressure. There's no gimmicks. And then when you're ready, you refer others to look at this business and help them learn how to sell by plugging them into the same process that each of you have gone through today. I want to thank you for participating. I look forward to your success, and the best is definitely ahead.